Hello to all of you present in the sanctuary and those online, to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Vero Beach, or as we call it, UUFVB. I am Vanessa Wishstar. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. And for those of you who may not be able to see me, I'm an energetic being who has long, brown, wavy hair with some blonde streaks, also white, and $1 million smile thanks to my dentist. Whether you are young or old, gay or straight, or identify in another manner, whether you're on top of the world or perhaps burdened with the worries of the world, whether you are gathered here with us or joining us via technology somewhere out there in cyberspace, we embrace you just as you come to us. The mission of UUFVB is we, a caring, liberal, religious community, encourage spiritual growth and seek justice for all. For me, UUism is all about understanding that every person I meet is part of this greater universe. They are a necessary part of my life experience. Whether I'm talking to the young man bagging my groceries, or I'm trying to help the mother with her umbrella and stroller in the pouring rain as we fumble to get into the thrift store with her baby, you and you are my equals. We all breathe the same air and exhale our existence. It gives me great happiness to share this planet with you, and you, and you, and you. This is what makes us alive. If you are visiting for the first time, we warmly welcome you and invite you to join us for coffee hour after the service. Just follow the crowd to the fellowship hall. We ask that you take a red mug so that we may identify you as our guest and can give you a warm UU welcome. A reminder, please, now to silence your phones. So please look around and notice who is here, who you know well, and who you don't know so well, and who you don't know at all. Now I invite you to greet one another. Please make a point to greet those you don't know or don't know that well.
Thank you. And now we welcome the sax quartet from Vero Beach High School.
Everyone sit, please.
Now we're going to have the chalice lighting. I invite you to read along. I am going to read the first words, and then Vanessa will lead the congregation with the next. Let me not pray to be sheltered from dangers. Let me not beg for the stilling of my pain. Let me not look for allies in life's battlefield. Let me not crave in anxious fear to be saved. Grant me that I may not be a coward, feeling your mercy in my success alone.
Nay, do not grieve. Here we go. Thank you. Please stand in body and spirit. Nay, do not grieve, though life be full of sadness. Dawn will not veil its splendor for your grief, nor spring deny their bright-appointed beauty to lotus blossoms and the shawcot leaf. Nay, do not pine, though life be marked with trouble. Time will not pause or tarry on its way. Today that seems so long, so strange, so bitter, will soon be so forgotten yesterday.
And now we'll have a time for all ages by Zoe Love Odell.
Everything Changes by Carol Dodd, illustrated by Aaron Huberts. Rain falls from clouds in the sky, the sun appears, making everything dry. Raindrops caught in a sunny beam, a rainbow shimmers like in a dream. The moon is full, but then it's gone, chased away by the dawn. Stars that shine all through the night disappear in morning's light. Everything changes night to day, everything changes, and that's okay. We eat an apple, then plant the seeds, water carefully, pull up the weeds. The tree grows tall and strong, shiny new apples appear before long. A yellow dandelion flower slowly withers hour by hour, becoming fluffy seeds of white, finally floating out of sight. Everything changes day to night, everything changes, and that's all right. A kitten who loves to chase and scrounge becomes a cat who lives to lounge. A puppy who only wants to play grows into a dog who sleeps all day. We read a book and turn each page, learn more each day as we age. Black hair slowly turns to gray, wrinkles come that won't go away. Everything changes, this is true, everything changes, even you. A new school might feel real strange, friendships sometimes rearrange, your best friend may move away, but new friends will come to stay. You build a sandcastle all day, then a wave washes it away. Your favorite game becomes a bore, you don't want to play it anymore. Everything changes, it's the natural way, everything changes, and that's okay. You might feel sad for quite a while, then something happens to make you smile. You feel embarrassed and close your eyes, but then confidence returns, a nice surprise. Morning comes with the yellow sun, the hours pass and the day is done. Everything changes day to night, everything changes, and that's all right. Stars shine brightly, sharp and clear, then fade away when morning's near. Everything changes night to day, everything changes, and that's okay.
Let's sing the children out right now. As you journey, may you know, love and hope go with you, love and hope go with you, learn and grow.
And now I'm going to light the candle of peace. For all the violent conflicts around our globe, including the one our country has started. Peace to your family, friends, neighbors, and community. Let us be instruments of peace. Now is the part of our service where we have our community connections with stones, water, and salt. We acknowledge that we come together, each with our own joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. Before us is water, the very sustenance of life. Water can buoy you up, nourish, cleanse, and replenish you. It is the source of life, which creates beauty and the very making of tears. This community, like water, is the sustenance of one another's lives, especially when we can remember the sacred obligation to buoy each other up in the times of sadness, to nourish one another in times of want, to cleanse one another with acts of kindness and generosity, and to replenish one another when our hearts are weary and worn. Today, with this water, we are reminded visually of our sacred obligation to the greater whole. Vanessa will be adding some salt for the tears that have fallen in this last week. May we remember that there are those among us in pain, and let us be tender with one another, for we don't know what is held in the silent sanctuary of one another's hearts. For those uplifting moments when we were touched by the bounty and beauty of nature, by a hug or a smile, by a caring act of friendship, Vanessa will add some flower petals to remind us of the beauty and the joy that surrounds us. In a moment, if you would like to add a pebble for a joy or a sorrow to our collective bowl of care, I will invite you to come forward. At first, we know that there are some of those that are with us online who would like to add a pebble placed in the water, so that will be added. If some of you here don't want to come forward and would like for Vanessa to place a pebble for you in the water, please raise your hand now. You are now invited to come forward.
you. So this is the time in our service when we express our gratitude and commitment by sharing our financial resources. To contribute to the fellowship, place your offering in an envelope from the back of the pews or donate to UUFVB by clicking on the QR code with your phone. But our offering today also serves another purpose, that of supporting an organization that addresses the needs of the underserved in our community. That is the purpose of our Sunday Fund, one of our congregation's major social justice outreach efforts, Treasure Coast Girls Coalition. The Treasure Coast Girls Coalition educates, elevates, and empowers economically challenged girls from fragile communities, ages 9 to 18. The Treasure Coast Girls Coalition provides tutoring, mentoring, leadership retreats, technology training, and culinary arts classes. As we now receive the offering, let's do so generously and gratefully, sharing your abundant nature.
Thank you, Sax Quartet, and thank you for the offering. It is lovingly and gratefully received. This is our time for prayer, meditation, or reflection. During this time, I will be guiding us through a meditation, and there will be a time of quiet at the end. If you engage in personal prayer or meditation practices, this is a great time to do so. If not, I invite you to simply be aware of the present moment. Begin by finding a comfortable position, allowing yourself to settle into the present moment. Sit up straight. Feel your feet on the floor. Do 3 shoulder rolls. Gently close your eyes and take a deep breath in and out. Breathe in slow. Breathe out slow. Let go of everything else, allowing yourself to simply be here. Consider for a moment how your thoughts come and go. One after another, they float by like clouds in a blue sky. Each thought is temporary. It arrives, stays for a while, and then fades. Consider your emotions. We feel joy, excitement, or love. Sometimes sadness, frustration, or fear. The emotions rise and fall, shifting like a tide. Even the most intense emotions do not last forever. They move through you, they dissolve, they make way for new feelings. We are not our emotions. They come and go. Now bring attention to your breath. With each inhale, notice how the air fills your lungs. With each exhale, feel your body release and relax. Inhale and exhale. Each moment is new. Each breath is unique. As you sit here now, embrace the understanding that everything is changing. Your body, your mind, your emotions, and the world around you. Inhale, exhale. Now we're going to have a moment of silence, and the mantra you can repeat silently as you observe your breath. I can adapt. I survive change. I can adapt. I survive change. I am grateful for my breath. Thus ends the meditation.
We are one in the Spirit, we are one with the world. We are one in the Spirit, we are one with the world. And we pray that our unity will one day be restored. We will work with each other, we will work side by side. We will work with each other, we will work side by side. And together we will change the world, and love will be our guide. We will walk with each other, we will walk hand in hand. We will walk with each other, we will walk hand in hand. And together we'll spread the news that love is in our land. We are one in the Spirit, we are one with the world. We are one in the Spirit, we are one with the world. And we pray that our unity will one day be restored.
The title of the message today God is change. Change is God. We're going to talk about change. Change that I've experienced and how we can cope with change. A short introduction of myself. Angela Love. I was born in wild, wonderful West Virginia, 1977, to a Pentecostal, God-fearing people during a recession with gas prices that were high, just like today. How many remember that? Yes, okay. The carpentry jobs had dried up in Ohio, so my dad took a coal mining job in West Virginia, along with my grandpa and great-grandpa, Papa and Lil Papa. I grew up Pentecostal with a little racism, homophobia, and misogyny baked right in. I became a devout believer. I went on mission trips. I found my way to Bible college, Messiah College in Pennsylvania. I was a fanatic Republican, very anti-abortion. My own sister, Julie Fox, who's here in the congregation today, give a wave. She was afraid to talk to me about her life because I preached so much about hell. For real, for real. I did it because I cared a lot about people's eternal salvation. I kind of overlooked their humanity in this lifetime. I had left my critical thinking at the door. It was all faith, blind faith. Amazon Prime has a documentary called Shiny Happy People about the cult of teen mania that I was a part of. Check out season 2. Most of my extended family is still thick in the Pentecostal world. They are ministers, preachers, prophets, etc. I love them, but I have changed. Some of them are great, amazing people and love the poor and their neighbors, and others like to hate and talk a lot about hell and sinning. In Bible college, I finally felt safe enough to let down my walls. I started questioning the inconsistencies in the Bible as I started studying it in its original languages. I was taught growing up that every word of the Bible is holy and dropped straight from the mouth of God. Ah. But at Bible college, I had to learn about the editing process of the Bible, which books the bishops considered worthy and which ones they kicked out. Editors of the Bible, who knew? I began to question things. Why the ministers interpreted the ancient text to oppose same-sex love. I was exploring my own sexuality and had no role models about navigating it outside of marriage. You might wonder how I ended up here at UU, which I've been a member since 2010. My sister Julie brought me here in 2009. It has been a very long journey, a lot of change, a journey of shedding old beliefs, shame, guilt, self-hatred, walking and running and hopping towards love, self-acceptance, community, and hope. I'm now more interested in Buddhism and Mother Earth justice. If I can change so radically, there is hope for anyone. Anyone in your family, anyone in the MAGA party, anyone. Don't lose hope. I'm a mother of 2 amazing daughters, Zoe, who read the children's story, and Violet on the end, give a wave, who gifted us with music from her sax quartet, 11 and 15. They have both attended here since they were brewing in my womb. I am engaged to this incredible woman over here, Angelique Varquez, nurse and adventurer who fills my days with love and joy. For those who don't know, I'm a midwife. Yes, we still exist. I take care of people during pregnancy, birth, postpartum, and I do gynecology, women's health throughout the lifespan. Recently, I got some news that was pretty devastating in regards to my work life. It was going to change a lot. My immediate reaction was to cry, get angry, withdraw. I thought to myself, Goddess, why are you doing this? I don't want this. I had everything figured out. My life has been so good. Goddess didn't answer. We all get changes thrown upon us in our lives. A loved one dies. We lose a job. We get evicted. A friend moves away. We get a new health diagnosis. Our church gets a new minister. Change is inevitable. Some places in this world deal with much heavier changes. Lots of bombing, children starving, children dying, no safe place to run to, maybe a refugee camp. I want each of you to think about the last big change that happened in your personal life. Think about that, envision that in your mind, how that changed. What was your reaction to that change? What is your reaction to change? To big change? To devastating change? I was afraid. I felt so heavy in my body. I was crying. I was imagining the worst. I felt tired, lethargic, drained, hopeless, overwhelmed. I had no plan, no vision for any good that this change could bring me. What did I do? I kept breathing. I kept meditating. I kept trying to ground myself. How do you ground myself? How do you ground yourself? Lots of different ways. Yesterday I learned about some red stone that's very grounding. Sometimes it's good to feel your feet on the floor. Wiggle your toes. Tap your legs. Some people tap their faces. See something small. Smell something. Taste something. These are all tricks that we teach people to decrease anxiety, that fast spinning of our minds into negative scenarios. How to be present in this moment. I felt hopeless, despairing, like I was in a dark room with no way out. But over time, I saw a crack of light as the door opened, a glimmer of possibility that my world hadn't ended. There were things that I hadn't imagined. I stayed open to the possibility that this change could bring good for me. That Goddess was seeing something that I couldn't see right now. That my vision was incomplete. That I was a caterpillar inside a cocoon. Have you ever heard the Serenity Prayer? Goddess, that's my version. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. This beloved prayer tells us to surrender or let go of control to find peace, but also be a force of change when it's possible. That's the key. We need to shape change when we can, like we're making a clay pot. We're shaping it. We can influence it. I could have remained sad, depressed, glum, pessimistic about my new work change. Or I could start molding and influencing the way I was going to react and pivot when life threw me a lemon. As a midwife, I see women change. I see them in preconception visits, just hoping and imagining a future baby and a child to raise. I see them start to focus on nutrition, avoiding toxins, and healthy living to have ideal soil for their baby to grow in. I see them in the beginning of their pregnancies. Their belly's not even showing a hint of the miraculous unfolding inside of them. They're so tired. They feel like hibernating for the whole first trimester. Anyone remember that? Yeah. They are making all the organs of the baby at this time, even though outwardly not showing much change. Well, beside the women who vomit. Then I see them focus on learning everything they can about their upcoming change. Birth, what's it going to be like? How to care for an infant. They are so interested in babies and other pregnant women. They want to hear beautiful birth stories about women feeling empowered and heroic after their battle in childbirth. Their bellies grow along with their hips and feet and breasts and butts. Some are desperate to know, will their body be the same after childbirth? Will they be able to return to work easily while breastfeeding and caring for their baby? How do I tell them? Nothing will ever be the same. Carrying a pregnancy full term changes your body. Raising a baby changes your heart and mind. They might not be ready to hear about all these inevitable changes. Octavia Butler, such an amazing sci-fi writer who happened to be Black. I've read so many of her books, I think almost all of them. One of my favorites is called Parable of the Sower. Has anyone here read it? Raise your hand. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. We have some new fans that are going to come from this, I hope. Anyone else read anything else from Octavia? Okay, yes, yes, okay. So Parable of the Sower is a dystopian novel that talks about life in California after the collapse of civilization. She wrote it in 1993. She predicted the collapse of civilization to occur in 2025. She actually talks about a party that their slogan was Make America Great Again. She saw the future and the changes that were coming, at least some of them. We are in the collapse era of our civilization. Sorry to let you know that if you haven't realized it yet. Our society, government, democracy are being eroded. Something new will be after this season, but we are in the middle of a decline or a collapse. So today we're going to talk about how you should handle change, and I'm going to bring in some wisdom from Octavia. She wrote that God is change, and change is God, because we need to realize that everything is going to change. Nothing is going to remain the same. It is our job, our duty, our necessity to adapt and to be flexible in the face of change. This is how we stay resilient, and this is how we survive the collapse. So instead of shaking our fist, griping to our neighbor, how can this be happening? Because I've been doing that too, I'm sure you have. We have to change. What's my next plan? What's my next idea? What's our next move? How can I get ready for the next phase? Let's talk about it. Octavia wrote about a teen girl, Lauren, age 15. She could see the changes coming before the adults could. Lauren lived in a walled-in neighborhood compound after government collapse. There were small break-ins, robberies, rapes. She could see one day there would be something bigger, and she would have to figure out how to live in that brutal Wild West world without a wall or a house protecting her. She tried to warn everyone, but no one wanted to see. They were all hoping for a return to the past. She gathered seeds. She made a go bag. She hid weapons. She survived the invasion. Not many others did. She was ready for the change. The MAGA movement here in the U.S. is hoping for a return to the past. They imagine a past where white men were on top. Women were tending home, cleaning and cooking, having lots of babies, which is really good for my business. They want to reverse time, reverse change, reverse momentum. Even us liberals, we like to fantasize about the past. When Obama was president, when gay marriage was legalized, when people were canceled for saying something racist. Guess what, folks? Of any political persuasion, the past ain't coming back. We have to create something new, something better. If we sit back and do nothing, other groups are going to shape our future. That's why I'm up here today. I'm done sitting back. I'm done being quiet. I'm done holding my tongue so that I don't offend you with my honesty, my queer love, my spiritual beliefs. Octavia wrote, whether you're a human being, an insect, a microbe, or a stone, this verse is true. All that you touch, you change. All that you change, changes you. The only lasting truth is change. God is change. Seed to tree, tree to forest, rain to river, river to sea, grubs to bees, bees to swarm. From one, many, from many, one, forever uniting, growing, dissolving, forever changing. The universe is God's self-portrait. That's from Parable of the Sower. Everyone knows that change is inevitable. From Darwinian evolution, from Buddhism's insistence that nothing is permanent, and all suffering results from our delusions of permanence, to the 3rd chapter of Ecclesiastes, to everything there is a season. Change is part of life, of existence. Did you ever read about the bubonic plague in medieval Europe? A lot of the continent was depopulated. Some survivors thought the world was coming to an end. Yes, but once they realized it wasn't, they also realized that there was a lot of vacant land available for the taking. If they had a trade, they realized they could demand better pay for their work. A lot of things changed for the survivors. What's your point? The changes. They were slow changes compared to anything that might happen here, but it took a plague to make some of the people realize that things could change. Things are changing now. Our adults haven't been wiped out by a plague, so they're still anchored in the past, waiting for the good old days to come back. But things have changed, and they'll change more. Things are always changing. This is just one of the big jumps instead of the little step-by-step changes that are easier to take. That's from Octavia. So, we are in an imagination battle for our future. Can we create a vision of economies and ecologies that center humans and the natural world over the accumulation of the material? That's from Adrienne Marie Brown, Emergent Strategy. We must make these just and liberated futures that we imagine, we must make them irresistible. That everyone has a place and wants to join in. Adrienne Marie Brown also wrote another amazing book called Pleasure Activism. Anyone here read that one? Yes. She wanted to make activism fun. Bring food, bring dancing to every protest, to every meeting. That's what I try to do when I show up. So one of the steps we need to do is examine and clean our lens. We are seeing all of our changes through our own bias. Personally, with my change, I was holding on to the notion that my model of midwifery was the best and that my previous lifestyle is the best. I need to let that go and see that there are many ways of being a midwife, many ways of serving my community, many ways of bringing an income. With our country, we see changes through our own bias. When we see our democracy crumbling, we cling to the past as if something grand needed to be protected. The reality is that our country was founded on slavery, racism, white supremacy, corporate greed, and the patriarchy. Maybe it does need to burn to the ground for us to rebuild something better. Who knows? Yes. You want to look towards the horizon. What future do you want to live in? How can we start taking steps towards that future? Can you imagine the future that you want? I just learned about GRIST, G-R-I-S-T, a newsroom that focuses on solutions to climate change, our biggest problem in front of us. They have a writing contest about sci-fi climate speculative fiction that has a hopeful component. So we can imagine our way out of the mess that we've made. If God has changed, then who loves us? Who cares about us? Who cares for us? We care for one another. We care for ourselves and one another. From Octavia, Parable of the Talents. Reverend Scott, who was a beloved minister of our congregation for 11 years, declared himself an atheist and a humanist from this very pulpit. What did he mean? He didn't believe any God, capital G, was coming to save us from ourselves. He thought it was up to us, humans, small h, to make this world a better place, to try to create heaven on earth. How can you care for your neighbors? friends, co-workers, church associates, family, biological or chosen? Can you bring them food? Can you check in on them after surgery? Can you help watch kids during a difficult time? We have to be the change we wish to see, not just in church, but as we walk out these doors into Vero Beach, Sebastian, Port St. Lucie, Melbourne, in our schools, workplaces, neighborhoods, on the streets, in the gyms, beaches, condo HOAs, assisted living facilities, community centers. If we want vibrant communities, we have to make them. What do we value? The UU7 principles. What do the UUs value? The inherent worth and dignity of every person. Justice, equity, and compassion in human relations. Acceptance of one another and an encouragement to spiritual growth in our congregations. A free and responsible search for truth and meaning. The right of conscience and the use of the democratic process within our congregations and at society at large. The goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all, and respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part, taking care of this big blue boat that we're living on. Keep your eyes fixed on the horizon. Heart's core, tethered to Mother Earth as she connects to the entirety of the universe. Breathe low, breathe slow. That's from Norma Wong, When No Things Works, a Zen and indigenous practice on resilience, shared purpose, and leadership in the time-place of collapse. If you can't see the horizon, maybe you're in a valley, go to a hill where you can see that horizon. If I can't imagine a vibrant queer community in Vero Beach, let me visit Portland, Oregon, and see how they're doing it. If I can't imagine how a country can actually value parenthood, let me investigate Europe and see what they do for parental leave. Sweden is known for 480 days of paid leave per child, which can be shared between the parents. That's the future I want to live in. We can leap towards what we aim. We don't have to take any incremental steps. Let's go there. We take courage. We believe in ourselves and the possibility of our horizon story. We can commit even though we don't know all the details. We can have a little faith. So get ready. Change is coming. Prepare a survival go bag. Hide a weapon or tool somewhere to defend yourself. Learn how to grow food or raise chickens. Put money in a foreign bank. Make sure your passport is not expired. Think about escape routes and hiding places. Collect seeds. Cultivate networks of mutual aid. We must survive. I'm going to put a reading list on here for more learning. I've got some good books up there. Parable of the Sower, Parable of the Talents, Pleasure Activism, Emergent Strategy, When No Thing Works. Podcasts, if you don't like reading. How to Survive the End of the World, a podcast on surviving apocalypse with grace, rigor, and curiosity. Adrienne Marie Brown and Autumn Brown. Becoming the People by Prentice Hemphill. How do we create relationships that inspire transformation? Thank you.
turn to our closing hymn. And let us sing together. And all those who are able, please stand in body and spirit.
Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you, through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Everybody turn and spin. Let your body learn to bend. And like a willow with the wind, let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. A child is born, the old must die. A time for joy, a time to cry. Take it as it passes by. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you, through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Morning star comes out at night. Without the dark there is no light. If nothing's wrong then nothing's right. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let the sunshine, let it rain. Share the laughter, share the pain. And round we go again. Let it be a dance.
We extinguish this flame, but not our focus. We go out into our communities to create our future. Seize, change, use it, adapt, and grow.